Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's Wellness Week. It's Mommy Mondays. Look, today's topic, married versus single. Married versus single. Which one's better? Married versus single. Married versus single. Today's topic on Wellness Week. My name, DJ Anthony. You, Stephanie, Mommy Mondays. How's it going, Steph?
Good. How are you?
Can we just get this out of the way real quick? Folks, come on. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Do it. Come on. Hit the subscribe. Hit the high-tech editing. Come on, okay? We love you. All right, so Steph, today's topic was married versus single. Now, okay, so you said, look, hey, we got to talk about our boy, Will Smith and Chris Rock. I'm like, oh, jeez. But, okay, it has something to do with the topic today because it's married, and, Will Smith is married, and, Chris Rock is single. So, I guess it's, okay. It's part of the topic today. So, but before we get into the advantages and disadvantages of being married and single, let's have at it, Steph. Let's have at it. You want Will Smith, everybody knows this already, freaking world, right? So it's like, what Ukrainian war? Will Smith. Okay. So Will Smith, if you live under a rock, I wish I could be that person. Like, what happened? Well, I don't get. So Will Smith smacks Chris Rock at the Oscars because Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith and her hair or lack thereof. Okay, so he runs up there, smacks him, and then comes back, sits down, and starts cursing at him like loud. All right, I'm going to call it right now. By the way, I like Will Smith. I like Chris Rock. I'm fans of their work. We don't know them. But from what I see, they seem like really two good people. So I was kind of heartbroken that even happened. Right. All that aside, me, hashtag fake, hashtag WWF wrestling. I don't buy it for a minute. Steph, I was telling somebody, and you're going to be going here. So here's why I'm an expert at this. Not because I've been slapped, which I have. But okay, so, but I'm an expert because I'm no Bruce Lee. But I'm a DJ, and I've been DJing for almost 30 years. I've DJed thousands of parties, okay? And I've seen hundreds of fights. You name it. Gang fight brawls, cops coming in horses, breaking up stuff, one-on-one, 10-on-10. I mean, just utterly I've seen a bazillion smacks in my life, okay? Just DJing and watching fights unfold at parties. I know a smack when I see one. Will Smith did not smack Chris Rock. That was a WWF smack. And like I said, I've seen hundreds of smacks and punches and kicks, and no way did he slap that man. I think it's just, again, my theory is Oscars ratings are going down over the past 20 years precipitously. Nobody watches this anymore. And they needed a boost for next year. They got it. And they got us all talking about it. And by the way, the Oscars have a 7-second delay. If the Oscars wanted to, they could have cut to commercial break. They chose not to, which is just reeks of, WWF. If it's so egregious and so bad, and oh my God, and come on, they could have, and they showed their hand too because they cut the audio out of him cursing. So, you could have cut the slap, the slap. But anyways, and here's my other thing. I challenge anyone watching. Will Smith, I challenge anyone to find anything violent about this man. He is a friggin' saint. You never hear him fighting, never hear him arguing. He's not the Alec Baldwin out there. You never hear this man. I mean, cool as a cucumber, great businessman, smart guy, seems like a good family man. Now all of a sudden he's the Hulk. Like, right, yeah, here we go. I think if anything, he would have done this. You would have seen something behind the stage or something, him like pull Chris and admonish him and yell at him, maybe a push or something. You would have seen that maybe, if anything. But to be so overt, I mean, I don't know. I think it was just, guys, let's do something. This is guerrilla marketing. Let's just, I think the Oscars needed some boost. They got it. And, they're on life support, the Oscars. I mean, and that's basically what I think. I think it was contrived. I think, and again, even the smack, I was just like, come on, I've seen a bazillion smack, literally. That wasn't a smack. But okay, Steph, what say you, Steph?
I think
you better agree with me. Go ahead.
I think it was real.
Oh, stop it now.
I do. I think it was real.
By the way, I'm going to interject. King interrupt us here. You realize who we're dealing with, right? These are two highly trained actors, Oscar-winning actors. Jada Pinkett Smith, highly trained. They know how to act confused and act. That's their job. They know how to sell it. So if it was anybody else, if it was you or I or the plumber or the butcher or the shoe shiner, I'd be like, damn, that's right. These men and women are the best of the best. They can act on a dime. I mean, now, so of course Chris Rock is like, yeah, that's your job, act, dude. And by the way, he's not pressing charges. Oh my God. Anyways.
Honestly, I don't think he would.
Well, he shouldn't.
But you know what? I went back and forth. I was like, on one hand,
the whole world is rewinding this thing.
I know. And I did too. I didn't watch the Oscars. I don't usually.
Nobody did until that happened. Everybody freaking went on.
You know what happened? My phone started to go off. It started to ping. And I thought, my initial thought, honestly, was something really terrible happened.
Right. God forbid. Right.
And I was like, let me go see, what's going on. And then it was all this Will Smith, Chris Rock stuff. And I was like.
And by the way, I'm happy to have that distraction. We need some normal drama. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. And it's like, finally, some old school drama from the 80s, Okay, so.
That's exactly what it was. It was old school drama.
Just a regular fight. Not even a fight. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Right. Okay, but why do you think it's real, though? So what sold you on it?
What sold me on it was not the smack. It was afterwards when he was cursing at him from the table, and then the reaction of the people around him consoling Will Smith. And I was like, well, maybe this is real. And then I started looking at it and I was like, I'm not really sure now. I'm not sure if this is
but that the people around him would have the crowd and people around Will and Chris would have a genuine reaction because they're not in on it. It's just Chris is in on it, Will's in on it, Jada's in on it, and maybe a producer. And everybody else is going to have the real reaction. Again, Will Smith is an actor. Of course, he's going to be all, like when you watch a Will Smith movie, do you think he's acting? No, you're like, no, this is real, but he's acting. So, but of course he wouldn't have anybody else involved in it. The rest of the crowd wouldn't be because, the more people you have, the more chances for not the right reaction, whatever. That's my theory. Okay, but you sold on it because you thought that everyone else, and again, I'm not dismaying you. That's how you felt. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's real.
And the other thing was, when Chris Rock was making those jokes, Will Smith was laughing until his wife looked pissed. And then that's when
all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think they've been to a bazillion award ceremonies? They've been to a bazillion outdoor events with people. Don't you think at some point someone says something wrong to Jada and Will didn't hit them? You know what I mean? It's like everybody's trying to get Will Smith to punch them because you can sue him and you'll be a millionaire. I think Will Smith is a very controlled person. He's and all of a sudden now he's just this loon that can't control himself. Like, come on. I don't know.
Okay, that's why I go back and forth.
Okay, you're going back and forth. So you're not sure because you said you believed that it was for real.
Again, when I look at it beforehand, I'm like, no, this is fake. But then when I look at the aftermath, I'm like, I think that was real.
Well, of course there's going to be an aftermath because Chris and Will and Jada didn't fill anybody else in on it. So, of course, you're going to get Bradley Cooper going, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. He's not in on it. He's not in on it.
Oh, my gosh. But you know what? And I know it's drama, and I know it's it's a distraction, and we're all invested in it now. We all want to know.
It's fun. Nobody got hurt. It's embarrassing for if it did happen for real, which I don't think it did. But again, some normal drama. Thank God for normal drama. But go ahead.
Yeah,
you were saying.
we're all invested in it. So now we want to know, is Chris gonna press charges? Is Will Smith finally gonna apologize to him? Is Jada gonna say anything? There's all this stuff going on. But then I'm like, if this was contrived, I'm like, shame on the Oscars, because there was so many groundbreaking awards that were given out. Nobody's talking about it.
Well, because human beings, Americans, human beings in general, we like the junk food. We like the low-hanging fruit. We love the drama. We don't want to. Right, the stuff that should have got attention didn't. That's because, again, Americans or humans go for the lowest hanging fruit. We love the drama, yours included. You too, we're all do, and we're talking about it. By the way, mark my words. Chris Rock, Will Smith, they will have a movie coming out. I'm not. I will bet money on that. They will have a movie coming out together, and they'll do the mea culpa. I love you. I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. And you're gonna see them vacation together. Because I've met Chris Rock. Okay, I'm not saying I'm his best friend, but I've met the man. I DJ'd a wedding that he was at. The sweetest man. I can't. People were bombarding him with requests. They wouldn't let him eat his dinner. I was like mad at the crowd. This man was just a saint to everybody. No problem. I'll take a photo. Put his food down. Take a photo. Put his food down. Take a photo. And everything I read about Will Smith, the man's a saint too. So I'm sure these two, they'll do the mea culpa, even though it was fake. Anyways, and then their box office numbers coming out when they do this thing together, whatever they're gonna do together, forget it. They could just burp and they're gonna sell gazillion tickets. Okay, and Jada Pinkett Smith will be in there too. And it's again the mea culpa and the kumbaya. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be again, and we all want to see. Americans love the drama, and we love
a good makeup story.
And we love a good comeback story. Correct.
Yeah.
So and this is great. And I hope, whether it's real or fake, I hope that they can make amends, whether it's real or fake, because that shows these are people with power. These are people with a voice. And these are people that can set an example. Like, oh, wow, if they can patch this up, maybe I shouldn't be mad at whatever, my friend, my neighbor, or, it would be a nice story, So anyways.
Yeah, but the other thing, too, is, so Jada has alopecia, which is like
Correct.
a serious condition.
Correct.
And she could reasonably buy beautiful wigs where we would never be able to tell that she had anything wrong with her 100 times over. But instead she's gone there, bald and owning her disease and everything beautiful. Like that.
Right.
And she looks gorgeous.
What this channel is about.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was a missed opportunity also for him to get up there and say, you know what, that joke was done in poor taste. My wife, she's rocking this. She's beating this. She's amazing. No awareness for alopecia. And also, the other thing too, you said, it's a great comeback story, but the other thing is too, a lot of kids watching this as well. You can't, the punch or the slap or whatever you want to call it, it's not the way to solve a problem. And we just showed our kids that that's how you solve it.
And again, goes back to what I was saying. And don't you know, of course, and don't you think that the Oscar Awards programmer and editor and production crew knew that? They had a 7-second delay. They could have very easily stopped that. They wanted it to be out there. So whether it's real or fake, that's almost irrelevant. Which for a fact, the Oscar Awards wanted you to see this. And so they let go. They have a 5 to 7 second delay. They could have went to commercial. They could have cut it. They could have done it. So they want you to see violence because it sells. It's all about money. They don't care. And you're right, though. Right. What is that showing our kids? Kids are going to be subconsciously like, yeah, that's what we do, man. Pop, 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 whatever.
Yeah. And there were no repercussions afterwards.
Right. So
nobody took him away. Nobody stripped him of his award.
Right, whatever. But because it's all up, and it's almost not even about Chris Rock and Will Smith. It's about money. Violence sells, porn sells, sex sells, death sells. It's all about that. And Oscars just showed what they're about. It's about that. Like you said, no one was even talking about the awards that were groundbreaking. No, you know why? It's always about the lowest common denominator, the junk food, the soda, the money.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to make people watch. And that's it. It's all about money. Your life doesn't matter. My life doesn't. It's all about the green. That's the color. That's what matters. It's sad because wow. And even if it was all real, they could have cut. They had 7-second delay.
I know.
They care so much about helping others. And like you said too, right? If alopecia, right? And by the way, Jada Pinkett Smith is probably a good human being too. And this could have been a thing that, they could have talked about, maybe not on the show, but afterwards, like, hey, my wife is suffering from this, and kudos to her for rocking it and owning it. It takes a type of bravery too. Then there's a missed opportunity. I hope that they can turn it around and maybe do a big fundraiser or charity for disorder. But it was so many drop balls. But you know what? They got what they wanted. People are talking.
Yeah.
This thing is bad press, and in America, it always comes down to the money. Life doesn't matter. It's all about my money. And that's Oscars could have cut it. They had a 7-second delay. They went for the low-hanging money, eyeballs on screen, selling commercial ads. It just sucks. But it's America. It shouldn't come as a surprise.
It's just if it is contrived, Anthony, as a parent, because Will Smith is a father, and I always
Chris Rock too.
I think they're good parents,
sure.
Anyway, just from the outside looking in, right? Like it seems like they're good parents.
Yeah.
Are they behind closed doors? Anything could happen,
Yeah,
but that's what it seems like.
Right.
If that's the case, it kills me. It disappoints me.
Well, Steph, whether it's contrived or not, Will Smith chose to do that.
This is the road that they chose to
right.
show.
And if it's contrived, Chris Rock is implicit in it and agreed to do it. Right. And so even worse, because now they're fostering this violence. Right. It's okay to do this. And but like I said, if it was real, again, shame on the Oscars. They had the 7-second delay. They knew better. They saw it coming, but it's about that. It's about this, so it's so many levels of wrong. I mean, but it is what it is.
But I will say this. If it wasn't contrived, Chris Rock handled himself well.
If it was real, which I don't think it was, but if it was real, yeah. I mean, he took a hit. If it was real, which it wasn't. If it was real, he took a hit from a big dude. And if it was real, kind of shame on Will Smith too. It's like, wow, you're tough with a little man. Because like I said, I've met Chris Rock. He's not an imposing figure. If that was another person,
if it was real, he was graceful about it.
And Will Smith was a bully. Because words are one thing, but now getting physical is another thing. Because there's a comedian, his name is Shaquille O'Neal, and he likes to do comedy. If Shaquille O'Neal was making that joke on stage, I bet you my life, Will Smith would have not went up there and tried that with Shaquille O'Neal. That would have been Will Smith's death sentence.
You're probably right.
Yeah, there's no way. So it's easy to get tough on people that you can starch. But anyways, but again, I think to end on a good note, I think Will Smith is an amazing person. I think Chris Rock's an amazing person. I think Jada Pinkett Smith is an amazing person. None of us are perfect, and I wish them well. I love their work. I love all their work, and I got a chance to meet Chris, and seems like a really cool dude, and I'm sure Will Smith is too. But anyways, it's but you know what? This is also a good opportunity for us parents not to drop the ball.
Yeah,
this is an opportunity.
Kids about what they saw.
To talk about it, because a lot of parents will be like, but no, this is a good time, right? You pull your 5-year-old to the side, or your 15-year-old. Hey, listen, that wasn't, so they almost give a gift to us to now forcing us to talk about, hey, words are one thing, but getting physical, that's another level, and you have to understand, like, you're more than likely going to get sued, not in Chris's and Will's case, but in the real world, you lose no matter what, because even if you beat the crap out of a guy or girl, or whatever, girl and girl fighting, you're going to court and you're going to lose. Even if you win the fight, in the real world, you're losing.
They're calling the cops. You're going to.
I've seen it. I see this every year. Fights happen. Every single. I said I see it all the time at these parties, and you'll see the guy who beats the hell out of the other guy. Guess what? Going to jail. And even if it's a tie, you both lost because you're going to court and you're losing no matter what. The only time you should fight is if your life is in danger and that's it. And I get it. We're human. It's easier said than done. Words are exchanged. People get heated. But like I said, I think Will Smith's better than that. That's just really smells very odd to me, the whole thing. But anyways, all right, Steph, we gobbled up the whole damn show. You lured me into this trap, Steph.
I had to. There was so much spinning. I needed to talk about it.
Do you want to add anything else?
I needed to talk about it with you.
Thank you, darling. Do you want to add anything else?
Talk to your kids.
Right. Well, listen, I'm one of 3 boys, okay? All we did was violence to each other. I mean, it was a nonstop ass-kicking fest. I mean, I don't know, my poor parents. Oh my Lord! I mean, it was almost every day. It was like
but that's part of growing up and having a sibling. This is not like you're an adult, and
no, I know, but
some self-control.
Even in our high school, I got to tell you. I mean, I tell people about some of the stuff that went on in our high school back in the 80s and 90s, and they're like, "Did you go to high school or jail?" I'm like, "Dude, yeah." And I was the recipient of a lot of the beatings. It was just so it's. Anyways,
but even then, you'll say, "Okay, those are teenagers. They don't
those
have
are the good years.
Impulse control, whatever." But these are people.
No, I know adults can't be doing this. I understand. Yeah. Anyways, but okay. So there's nothing else, Steph. I want you to get it all out. I want you to get it all out, like prep for a colonoscopy. Just get it all out, Steph.
I'm trying. I think I did.
Is there anything else? Because I don't want people to say, Anthony, kept on interrupting or chance of thought.
No, I feel like I let it out. I'm okay.
All right. Well, we still have time, though. We're at the 19-minute mark, so we're good. Yeah, I know. I
do. I feel like there's, weight's been lifted. I feel good now. Thank you.
And yeah, anyway, because I like them both too. That's what got me fired up. Like if I hated both of them or I hated one of them, it'd be an easier lift. But
This
you
is
like
the
these,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
right? And I like both of them. It's like seeing two good friends fight. It's like, no, don't do that. Like, can't you? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, who could they beat up just like another actor that's a Schmendra or whatever. Somebody that's a real jerk. They could, not those two. Anyways, all right.
You know what's funny though? I just real quick this morning you were talking about people capitalizing on it. Every station was playing a Will Smith song this morning. I was dropping my daughter off at school. Every single station.
The memes are not stopping. Once this happened, I said, this is going to be a meme gold fest. Like, a treasure chest of memes. It doesn't end. It's going to go for another 3 or 4 days. So it's just like, but they're winning. Someone must have a movie coming out. So I don't know. But all right. So let's talk about, I was thinking about this, married versus single. Now, we're not talking about a particular marriage. We're talking about the institutions of married life and single life. So what I was thinking to myself, what are some of the advantages of being single? What are some of the advantages of being married? So, okay, we'll go one for one. So we'll start off with, so you'll say a positive of married. I'll say a positive of single because you're married. I'm single. So we'll talk about, you'll say one positive of married. I'll say one positive of single. You say two positive, second one of married, positive, and then we'll go to the negatives. Or we could do negatives first. I will do positive. Okay. So, okay, Steph, you're married. What is one of the positive attributes of the institution of marriage, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I would say one of the positives is that you have a witness to your life. Like there's always somebody there. That's a positive.
Nice. Positive. Okay. For me, one of the positives being single is I'm free. I can just do whatever I want to do. So, whenever I want. And yeah, I love being free. Just do what I want. I decided to go out with a friend for dinner a couple of days ago. I didn't have to check in. I didn't have to see. I just went. So being free. Okay. What's the second thing for you?
Second thing for me, I think it's that family bond, like you're married, you've got each other's family, you've got your kids together.
Right.
It's that blending of two groups, to create that one bigger union, that sort of thing.
A team effort type of deal.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I would say the second thing would be no compromise. I don't have to, check in. I don't have to say like, oh, okay, you don't want to eat here. Okay, we'll go there. Like I just go. I don't have to compromise anything. I want to sleep late, sleep early, not do. Like there's no compromise. So that would be my second positive of what about you? So what's your third positive?
I think the third positive thing would be it's kind of a financial thing. It's like, you know who your beneficiaries are. You've kind of got that security there when you're married. Right.
100%. Yeah. The vulcanization or the melting of not only finances, but that again, going back to that team kind of sense of, there's auxiliary power, so to speak, if need be. All right. Yeah. For me, my third one would be peace, 100% peace. I know I'm coming home. There ain't gonna be no argument. There ain't gonna be nothing. There ain't gonna be no discussion. I'm just like, cool. Like, I know when I'm coming home, it's gonna be peaceful. So it's a guarantee. And that's the single life. That's the institution of being single. There's just no worry of, oh boy, here we go. Like, I got to breathe before I go into the front door. Nope. Just like winning. So there's always peace. No, those are my three. You did three, right, already? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the cons of marriage and the cons of being single. Okay, what's a con of being married in the institution of marriage?
I think one of the cons is it's supposed to be forever. And that's a really long time. And sometimes, people grow and they change, and divorce is expensive and it takes a really long time to get one. Sometimes I think there should be like a renewal process.
That's what I think. Yeah, I agree. I think, let's be honest, right? Divorce is 50%. The remaining 50 are not amazingly happy. I think it'd be a mature adult thing to say, right, every 3 years or 4 years, we just, right, you can, which you have to do with every other license, driver's license, fishing license, business license, whatever. I think the over romanticizing of it is a little immature and childish. And like you said, being, not to go down this rabbit hole, but being married forever, that could work in the 1400s where you only lived to 20 years
Right.
old. You got married at
And a
15.
lot of those ideas are based on that
Not
sort
even
of
the
history.
1400s,
Yeah.
the 800s, the 700s, like the BCs, marriage is going before the year zero. So yeah, when we only lived till 25, you got married at 20, you're dead at 25. So yeah, being married forever, that's an easy lift. Now, damn, I could live to 100 relatively easily. Granted, you don't get a meteorite, but the average age of an American is 78. So that's average. If you're a real putz and you're drinking and smoking and whatever, you're not going to make it. But if you got a little bit of luck and just common sense, yeah, you're going to make it to probably about 80 or 90. And that's a long time. By the way, when you just said that's a mighty long time, I was like, wait a second. That's a quote to a Prince song, I think, in the beginning of Let's Go Crazy.
That's right.
Really beloved, we're gathered here today, this day called life. Together life, mighty long time. I was like, when you said, I was like, Prince?
And that's a mighty long time.
Right. So
it's a long time.
But, I don't think, in a weird way, I think our culture is getting more acclimated to that in a more roundabout, rough way where divorce is so prevalent and it's common. And that's a bad thing, but a good thing, because it's kind of a de facto way of saying, hey, it's okay, it didn't work out. The next step would be, like you said, like, maybe every 3 years or every 5 years, whatever it is, you renew, because people shouldn't be punished. No, most people who are getting divorced are not bad people. It's just things, and more, the majority of the time. But it's anyway. So yeah, okay. So my thing would be so negative for being single would be sometimes lonely. And if you're a stressed out anxiety head case like myself, loneliness is like, Steph, I'm dying, so I'm always dying of something. So yeah, but yeah, so the loneliness factor, and it doesn't happen all the time. The loneliness can be good, being alone sometimes, but too much of anything, like a fire, you can cook a meal or burn a house down. But I think sometimes single people, we get lonely, and that's,
right.
And lonely for an hour or two is fine. But when it becomes a pattern of loneliness for weeks and months, yeah, it can get tough, especially like when we had the lockdown and stuff, Yeah. So yeah, the con of being single is being lonely oftentimes. Yeah. Okay, so what's another con for you with
I just wanted what you just said. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
Correct.
And that's what you're talking about, the lonely part.
Right, because being alone can be very freeing and very peaceful. I love being alone a lot, but I don't like being lonely. That is too right, because oftentimes, the old saying, the loneliest place on earth is a room full of people. So, anyway. Okay, so what's the second negative for you?
So one of the things that was a positive for you is, you don't have to compromise. You don't have to answer to anybody. You don't have to check in when you're married. There's an expectation that you're going to do that. And sometimes that, I guess when you want what you don't have sometimes. And
right. Grass is green on the other side.
Right. So sometimes it's nice to be able to just go off and do your own thing, or, make your own choice and not have to check in with anybody at all. But when you're married, a lot of the time you do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. For me, my second negative would be, and I know this is going to blow people's minds because, you say the good-looking guy, this doesn't happen overnight, but romance, lack thereof. So I think, generally speaking, when people are married, the romance department is a lot easier because, hello, it's right there. You guys, not that married people are going to be doing it like rabbits every second, but you have a partner, So when you're single, maybe you have a partner, maybe you don't. You could, it's feast and famine, So, and again, I'm being facetious. Romance also meaning, just having someone to be romantic with, whatever. It could be hugs and kisses. But yeah. So when you're with somebody, I think married people might take for granted the simple, like, kiss goodbye and a hug hello. Like when you're single, you may have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, okay, but that, and I'm not talking about living with somebody. In my mind, if you're living with somebody, by all means, you're married. I'm talking about single, like you live by yourself or roommates, but you're not living with that significant other. So yeah, so the romance thing is kind of hit and miss. And if you break up with the person, your boyfriend, girlfriend, then you're single. And then the romance is, you're in the desert, baby. So again, generally speaking. But okay, so what's your last one for the cons of marriage?
Well, I had a different one, but actually, based on what you just said, I'm also going to say romance, because a lot of times when you're married for a long time, yeah, you have access to the other person.
But are you going to do it?
But whether you do it or not, sometimes you lose that romance piece of it. Like, you forget the please, you forget the thank you forget to dress up for one another, you forget that romance piece of it. All those things that you did in the beginning,
you take it for granted.
Yes.
You take the other person for granted, and not in a nefarious, evil way. It's just,
it happens, but you miss it.
Right. Well, that's why, my pastor at my church always says, like, you should have a date night once a week or date afternoon with the husband and wife, whatever. And yeah, I think he's right. It doesn't have to be phony, but try to make some time just to get a coffee together or something, Not that it's going to cure anything, but it's something that, all right. Yeah. And well, it's just kind of funny too, because I was saying to myself, the irony of marriage too is, like, I have single friends of mine that have a lot more romance in their life than my married friends. Not all of them,
right.
But, so yeah, it's kind of ironic, because you think, well, I'm getting married, I should be having more of, romance, and wrong, so it's like a cruel trick that, generally speaking, of course. But
and I'm not even talking sex. I'm talking about,
well, I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about just even romance, just a hug.
And all that. Yes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for sure. So, okay. So, wait, was that your third?
It was.
Okay, so my last one would be one of the cons of being single is you don't have, in case of emergency, break glass. So, like, if you're single, you're on your own. And so if, excuse my French, if shit goes down, it's on you. Like, you don't have that partner, that wingman, that wing woman to be like, no, okay, we got this. No. It's all on you. Now, don't get me wrong. You have friends, you have family, you have colleagues, understood. But anyone who's lived with somebody or been married, you understand what I'm saying, so it's nice that you have that in case of emergency break glass person, even if you're fighting with them, okay, they, generally have my back with a life and death thing. We might be getting along, but I have that person. So that's I think another con of being single is that, you have to really be,
and you're right about that. I do know people who are married who genuinely don't like each other, but when push comes to shove,
right,
if something
of course
tragic is happening,
right,
they're there for each other.
Right. Now, that's not, I don't think, a reason to stay married if you're not in an abusive relationship.
Absolutely not.
Right. But yeah, I mean, again, the break glass thing is nice. So, and it's a weird thing too, because I always say to myself, I was telling a friend of mine, an older friend of mine in their 70s, and they're like, oh, aren't you, like, worried, Anthony, you're getting older and you're single, you're not going to have anybody if something goes down. I said to the person, well, wait a second, even if you're married, one of you is going to die first. So someone's going to be alone, and then what? So I consider this training. I'm good to go, baby. Let's get it on. So, like, my grandmother and my grandfather were married forever. Okay, they were married for 50-something years. Okay, they're the first and only marriage for both of them. Relatively happy marriage, but my grandfather died, I don't know, 12 years before my grandmother's death. So my grandmother had a decade and plus that she had to be by herself. Again, relatively speaking, she had family and all that stuff there. But so someone's going to go first, and someone's going to be single. So I think it's almost a little bit of a skew, a little bit of a false sense of security in that. Oh yeah, I'll always have that person. No, you won't, because someone's going to go first now, and so that person, someone's going to be single and be by themselves, and so that might be more devastating than just staying single for the rest of your life. Which I also know people who are older in their 70s and 80s who either never got married or whatever, and they're just fine, because you're acclimated to it. I think, again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong or what's better or worse. I think generally speaking, if you can find a good partner and you have a happy union, that's probably the way to go. Better than being single and happy. I think it'd be better to be married and happy, or cohabitate and happy, be together, and if all things are perfect. But
I agree.
So, okay, so we got that out of the way. All right, so let's squeeze a couple out here with your favorite quotes. Favorite quotes. Come on. Wellness Week has a 7-second delay. They could have cut that out.
I love you.
All right, go ahead. Two quotes.
One of my new favorites.
Go ahead, give me one, and we're gonna do two for you, two for me. Go ahead.
Is not my circus and not my monkeys.
Those are the two quotes.
No, it's one quote.
Oh, okay, not my circus,
not my circus,
okay.
not my monkeys.
Got it. So it's not your drama, not my drama. Right. Mine is I have one that I have on my desk in my office. It says, oh shoot, it says, cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. So that. Yeah, everyone thinks this guy, dumb DJ from New Jersey, can't. I come up with a lofty one every so often. But yeah. Meaning, hey, right. Seize the moment. Don't be afraid, because sometimes we don't do something because we're afraid, and then we die over and over and over again. Better to take a calculated risk. Of course, don't jump into a shark's mouth. But I mean, if you're afraid to go swimming on the shore because you're afraid you're gonna get eaten by a shark, that's not happening. So it's like. But you'll die many times if you don't take relative chances in life. It's better to die once, and that's it. So I try to live by that. I'm going to die once. I'm not going to die with regret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, what's your second quote?
I think my second one would be, "When they go low, we go high." Or
former first lady used to say that. I think.
Yeah,
right?
and what's not a political thing for me.
No, I know.
As especially as I'm getting older and I see a lot more drama, the inclination naturally is to retaliate. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, nope, I don't need to do that.
Right. And by the way, not to bring it back to friggin' Will Smith and Chris Rock, but you kind of touched on it. If Will Smith really wanted to destroy Chris Rock, right, instead of smacking him, he should have moved over, got the mic, and said, Chris, my wife is suffering from this. She's brave to be up here.
Yes.
And what you're doing is childish and rude. That would have broken Chris. Done. He would have been
canceled him out.
He would have been begging Will to smack him.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier, because you can kind of almost feel bad for Chris.
Yeah.
But if he would have got the mic, excuse me, my wife is, whatever, and, how dare you? And then he would have said, I didn't know. Well, maybe you should have thought about it, but, do better next time, whatever. Like, that would have been like, whoa, so this is why I think it's kind of contrived, because I think Will Smith is that person that would do that, but, he chose to do the skit, whatever. Again, This is me.
I really, really, really hope for that. But yeah, that's my saying. I think about it all the time.
Yeah. And people have broken me down doing that, not getting, not striking out against me either verbally or physically, but putting me in my place with assertion, fairness. I was like, I would have gladly taken a punch in the face. Like, they, knocked me down like really bad. So, and then, the real nail in the coffin would have been like, and I forgive you, Chris. Woo! Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, forget it. Like, that would break Chris. He would never show his face in public again, but anyways, again, it's okay. So my other quote is, not to get caught up in that rabbit hole again. My last quote would be, you already did the two quotes. So my last quote would be, "Behold the turtle. It only makes progress when it sticks its head out." A turtle can't walk if it's contracted in. So it only can walk and move forward if its head come out. But if its head comes out, it's in risk of getting, eaten or hurt by a predator. But it can only make progress if it sticks its head out. If it coils back in, it never goes anywhere, and it'll die because it can't get water or food or whatever. So
I feel a little bad about myself right now, because yours were very deep and mine were very simple.
You're like, hey, if you're not crapping on someone's head, you're not wiping, Stephanie.
I do consider myself an educated woman.
You are. You're very educated. No, you are.
Yours were so deep. But yes, I agree with you. If you don't ever come out of your shell, nothing ventured,
or take a risk.
Gained.
Right. And we're going to lose. I mean, when you take a risk, you lose. But that's the other thing. It's like, not a quote, but like, how much loss and how much embarrassment can you handle? I always tell people that if you want to be successful in life, and I'm not talking about money, if you want to be successful in life, you have to ask yourself, how much am I willing to be embarrassed publicly? The more you can take that public embarrassment, the more successful you're going to be, because you're going to get hit. I don't care who you are. Michael Jordan has lost basketball games. Best boxers on earth have been punched in the face, but they got wins. So, right, if you can't take it, then you're never really going to make it. You got to be able to, again, not only stick your head out, but yeah, you might get scratched in the meantime by a predator trying to get you, but at least you got your water and you can coil back in and live another day, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah, it's not my freaking circus, you stupid elephants running around crapping all over the circus. What was your second one again? The second one.
My second one was when they go low, we
go high. Well, that's a good one though. That's pretty deep. I mean, that takes, and again, no one's saying, I know you agree with this. No one's saying, be a punching bag. No. Obviously.
No.
People say things or try to short you somehow, it's like not a problem, guy.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, I guess, and I think this maybe comes with maturity. Hopefully it comes with maturity, I guess. A lot of times when people would wrong me or whatever, it would be like, I go back at it. That would be the knee-jerk reaction. Now I'm like, I take the time to think about it and reflect on it a little bit.
Right.
And usually, the best way to get back is to not get back at all.
Right. Let them say what they're going to say, or even say, hey, no problem. We disagree. I still love you. Whatever. Right. It's like, even if it's a tongue in cheek, I still love you. You're showing, hey, gravitas, you're showing that you're getting above that. And you're better for it because you're not absorbing that cancerous vibe and thought. Let them be bitter and angry about whatever.
Yeah.
And it comes with age, but not everybody, because I know some 80-year-olds that are still like 15-year-olds, But
it's like you said, it's not being a punching bag, it's not being a doormat, it's not saying, you accept that person into your life or whatever. Right. There's times when you have to handle your,
of course, you gotta,
your stuff and confront issues. But a lot of the time I find that if you don't give it oxygen, there's no flame.
100%. Yeah. And again, but it's a nice place to be when you don't have to, right? You can rise above the BS. It's like, here we go. Yeah, whatever, or I always say to my friends who are coming with that, telling me stuff like, oh, he said this or she said that. I'm like, dude, they're doing that they're acting out or they're acting like a fool because they're coming from a place of weakness, insecurity. That's why they're saying vicious things or doing things that are childish, because they're insecure. I think it all comes down to that: insecurity, weakness, fear. That's when people lash out physically, mentally, spiritually, verbally. Again, no one's saying take a beating, but usually it's not about physical stuff. It's about, again, right? They didn't invite me to this, or they said I look like this.
Yeah. A lot of times it involves pride.
Right, and it's a pride within ourselves that we may react in a way. It's like, oh, okay. I'm trying to think. What the heck did? Yeah, I mean, so many people say stuff, but just to all of us, all of our viewers too. I'm sure how we're humans, right? But yeah, I mean, when people try to crack on me and stuff, I don't even oftentimes go back at it. I'm just like, yeah, I might say to them like, listen, I could retort to you right now, but it'd be like clubbing a baby seal. It's too easy. I'll tell them that, I'll be like, do you, please keep it coming. I love it. So, but it's, whatever. Anyways, life's too short. Enjoy. Yeah.
I'm going to be thinking about this turtle now.
All day long, you'd be like, damn it, I said the thing about the circus and the poop, and he had the turtle. Which, if you really want to tie it in, the turtle and the poop are kind of, there's a phrase there too. But anyways, yeah. It all ties in.
Now you have to text me those two sayings. So
Yeah.
Put it up on my board.
Yeah, viewers, if you have any cool quotes, come on, type them down. I want to hear your quotes about life and motivational quotes and whatnot. So anyways, that's it. So Steph, is there anything else we need to touch on?
No, I think I let a lot of things off of my chest today. I feel really good about that. It's nice to see you.
It's Monday. It feels like, right? We're on a good start. We're on a good start, people. We're on a good start. So yeah.
Very energetic conversation today.
No, it was awesome. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go have my decaf coffee. I'm not drinking caffeinated anymore. No, I'm serious. I haven't drank. I think that's talking about panic attacks. I think that was not the silver bullet, but I think that was the deciding factor of what drove me over the top with, because I was drinking 5 cups a day. I mean, in massive quantities of caffeine. And I think, anyways, but I'm going to go for my coffee now, decaf, one of my favorite cafes in New Jersey. Just chill out.
Nice.
Do it. I'm going to do me. And, Anyways, so that's that. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and don't forget we have a bunch of great shows coming up. Tomorrow's show, I'm gonna be talking to somebody who has a business that specializes in kids athletic and kids fitness, so that's gonna be a great show. And then we have Wednesday's show about nutrition and whatnot, and we have other shows coming up, so a bunch of great shows for everybody. And thanks everyone, because our YouTube subscriber channel numbers are going through the roof. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Steph. Don't forget, everybody, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Tell your mother, tell your friend, tell everybody. As we say in Italian, grazie mille. Thank you, Steph, for everything. Thank you, everybody. Baci, baci, baci. Tune in. Great shows coming up. Thanks, everybody.